What's up, fellas? It's time for today's Barstool Sports Pick Central. Brandon Walker out today, heading to Louisville, doing some wrestling with this guy, Ben Bishop. So I am going to sit in to host today. I'm Ben Mintz, joined on my right by the one, the only Rico Bosco. What's up, Rico?
What's going on? Had to pay homage. Tommy's back. Fucking the text thread today, and I've never seen Ben more confused in his life. But credit to him, he went with all the jokes, and we knew it was pissing off Brandon. So
Brandon's a Benny.
he's a fucking Benny.
He's a fucking Benny.
Well, first, I'm going to introduce Ev.
I like
and
Phil
before I
Bennett.
ask what the hell that actually means, I want to introduce Ev. What's up, man? How are you?
I can't put into words. I know I feel bad. Like I feel bad you're not in on it, Ben. I really do.
But that's almost makes it funnier that I've like.
I can't put into words like how happy I was yesterday when I saw Dave's video and saw Tommy fucking Cheeseballs pop up at the end of the video, looking exactly the same outfit. Guy hasn't aged a day. Same voice, everything. The guy is the same, exactly the same as I remembered him. Perfect, a Jersey Shore king. This man, people don't understand. This man walked or crawled so the Jersey Shore cast could walk. There is no Jersey Shore show if not for this guy.
And it's so odd. We was talking about it. Clem, I saw KFC. He was obviously laughing. He saw me on the street, almost get run over. But Ben, the guy did one episode and then never parlayed it into that Dr. Phil girl.
Okay.
Like Catch Me
Catch Me
Outside.
Outside,
Like
yeah.
they
I remember
know
that,
what's
okay.
going on. This guy did 1 hour of TV and faded into the oblivion, and he comes back 18 years later. It makes no sense.
I was trying to think in my head yesterday. There might not have been a day that's went by that at least at some point in my head I'm like, I wonder what the fuck Tommy Cheeseballs.
I have
what's he doing?
Yeah,
What's
I
he got
know his
going
real
on?
name. I have the Google alerts on, but nobody knew where he was.
See,
There's a million different things.
He was too ahead of his time. Like they were filming this shit off like cameras, cell phones.
Yeah. It's not,
Like he was so ahead of his time. He was way before it was. I looked it up. The episode aired November 2003.
yeah.
So it's from probably the summer of 2003. So we're talking legitimately 18 years. This guy's just been just doing his own thing.
18 years?
Yeah, MIA.
Like that's how.
So is he so this is old Jersey Shore. This is like before Barstool even.
Yeah.
right before.
Basically,
Pretty
that
much.
actually is funny. It almost coincides basically when
with it,
Dave
yeah.
founded the company.
Makes sense. And he normally True Life. This is all you need to know. True Life usually breaks the story up into 3 parts.
Mm-hmm.
They
Like
gave him 3 people. They gave him the full hour. There's the unintentional comedy. I was trying to tell people he's like 50 now, right? He was pushing 30.
No, I think so. He looks old because him and all his boys look old. I've done some research. When that summer he was like 24.
No.
Yes, I was shocked because me and all my boys that watched it, we all thought he was like 30.
Really?
He was 24.
That's astounding.
He
to
looks
me.
old as shit. It's crazy though because he looks literally the same right now as he did in 2003.
Ben, we'll wrap it up.
No, I want to hear about it.
No, it's fine. But it's from where we are, we know a million of those guys. Like he's and the stuff he says, like we walk in, we own the dance floor, we own the clothes. Like, bro, you're an out of shape fucking construction worker from Elmwood Park, New Jersey. Like, relax,
But
Tommy.
it's so funny though because even that being said, I'm sure you'd say the same. Even like my boys, like you roll up and like you have that, you feel like that.
Oh,
though.
of course.
Like when you walk into these like Jersey Shore, like seeing them at Steaks Unlimited in 2003, like at Beachcombers, fucking Merge, like all these places like that aren't even like Beachcombers is still there. Like Merge isn't even a thing anymore.
No,
is
it's
it?
done.
Like it's been gone for a long time.
But like he was poor and he just saved his money and went out on the weekend. And
He was a construction
acted
worker.
like he was rich on the weekend, like we all did. I know. I have friends who you skip lunch during the week because you're like, oh, it's Thursday night. I'm gonna need.
I want to buy a girl a drink.
Yeah, I could use that 20. Like it's insane. It's wild. The names, Michelle, the other Michelle.
This is like
old
Michelle
school
B,
Nick.
Michelle
Yeah,
this,
it's
like-
insane.
I love that he's always cleaning the house. She's like the mom of the house. He got Big Anthony.
We'll get you the video, which I used to be on MTV. I think they make you. You can try and find if you have an MTV or like your cable provider. We'll give you the hour. Used
Also
to be on YouTube.
on YouTube, they used to have the full hour.
Yeah.
Like even up to like a
Gone.
year or two
A
ago,
couple
it's
years ago.
gone.
I gave it to Clem.
Now there's like 2 like 10 like 9-minute videos, so you get like half the episode.
But
But
then he was in nothing else. He never went on the news. He never did acting. That was it. It was just
like he could have been a superstar if he had done that like 10 years later.
He's got a job here if he wants it. I think immediately.
He wouldn't take it. Like that's in authentic Tommy Cheeseballs, he wouldn't want it. He's probably retired from his union job, or he's retiring like soon. He's got a couple years left on his union job.
Just chasing the girl, wiped away his sweat.
It's so funny. I'm so oblivious to all this, but it's like fascinating because it's like a new world.
Yeah,
to me.
it's just.
I just have no idea.
All you need to know is basically the guy was like internet lore.
Okay.
Because
as the internet was like starting.
Yeah,
to get
and
big.
yeah.
So it's like old school people know,
right?
But there's like a whole generation of people like me that just
as
don't have
KFC says, Internet 1.0, and he was never seen again. So it's like Eddie wanted to do a video like he was manhunting him, like you go find out where he is, like chase him down, like he's MIA. Him and the guys in the Belmar video that hounded, they put the T-shirts up. The only time he emailed them with a cease and desist. Like there's just certain people that were on the internet and then disappeared.
And I think
it's literally folklore.
It just says too, like his impact.
Yeah,
like this guy did 1 hour of TV almost 20 years ago, and we're still like this excited talking about him. He did nothing else since then. Like that's how like iconic this guy is.
All I like use to judge is whenever people I respect are super excited about something, I'm gonna check it out.
Right.
Like if y'all are this fired up about it, there's got to be something to it. And if Dave Portnoy is.
Dave's the top. I mean, there's bar none. Dave's the top internet celebrity of the world. And he dropped everything he did to shoot that video.
Have to.
Without a doubt in my mind. He would have done that on the street. He would have done that at a club. He would have done that at dinner. He would have done that at a meeting. He'd be like, I got to go outside. I got to do this hot emergency press conference. Which is basically what he did. The guy, it's insane. I can't
Shout out Tommy Cheeseballs.
I can't believe he's back.
Today's show.
Steak sandwiches.
Steak sandwiches.
Cheese balls.
So that's what you're talking about, the steak sandwiches.
Yeah.
Steak sandwiches.
But the way he says it,
he's like steak sandwiches.
It's lunacy.
I understand this problem. People
God.
not understanding what he says.
They'll figure it out. I mean, just smoking heaters.
Just in the car, on the way to the bar, watching Goodfellas. Got Many Men playing in the background. Oh my God!
I will be exploring more. Y'all got my.
Just go on Clem's blog. It has both the videos.
His dash on his car, he had it customized to have $, Tommy, $.
Yeah. He goes. They're literally just all like construction workers, union workers. He goes, "You with some rich boys?" He goes,
you don't.
We all drive Cadillacs. We all got money. It's so funny.
You just don't make them like that anymore.
It's so funny. He is just like a character of all characters. Like this man. Think about Post Bar steak place right behind Beachcomber. There's like tons of people there, like 3, 4 in the morning. He just walks up and goes, "Yeah, we walk him to the front of the line because I fucking can."
Because I can.
And then someone tries to fight him for cutting the line, and then he's trying to fight him. He's like, "What kind of car you drive?
He's
what kind of car you drive?"
Telling the cop you're gonna regret that if you write up my ticket. Like Ben, we won't give too much away. You got to watch the hour. We'll find you the hour.
You can never do it justice with words. You have to see it.
I'll invest an hour of my life.
But I think you kind of got to know those people too.
Yeah, it's tough. Like if you grew up South your whole life,
you don't have
as much of a feel.
But it's comedy.
Like Rico said,
like
everyone.
The culture shock will almost make it funnier. Though.
Like I know there's 50 guys that I know that could have. Now he's one of a kind, so it's I guess contradictory. But I know 100 guys like Tommy Cheeseballs. 100. I've
always said if there was someone out there that could match his energy, he'd just be in a fist fight every time he leaves his house. Every time he leaves his house, he'd be in a fist fight. If there was another person to match his energy, he would fight every time he walked outside his front door.
Wow. Okay, well, I'm going to have to check it out, and I'll check it out, and then I'll report back publicly on that. All right, today's show got a bunch of stuff to get into. I want to go ahead and start with the stuff from last night.
LeBron's
especially
a
the LeBron. No, and I'm sorry. Look, I've got a lot. I'm very invested in the Suns-Lakers series because there's so much New Orleans ties all over it, from Chris Paul and Monty and AD. And, I said it yesterday on the show, and I'll stand by it. Chris Paul gave a shit about New Orleans, and AD didn't, and I like Monty, so I'm firmly cheering for the Suns. Let's talk a little bit about last night. LeBron, I thought it was like a little bit of like a sorority girl walk of shame, sneaking out of the frat house kind of thing last night. With 5 minutes left, like embarrassed, down by 30. What the hell was that?
They covered it up. What'd they say? He needed treatment?
Of course,
that's always what they're going to say. His ankle's hurting him. He's got the sprained ankle.
I almost have more respect if it was like a clinching thing in the finals and the media and everyone's gonna like not necessarily storm the court, but there's gonna be like a barrage there and shit, and he's got to get off the court. But like, bro, it's game 5. Like, all right, you kicked our ass, shake our hands, and for him to leave, it's just a bad example. I know you get corny, but it's like a bad example for the kids, honestly. And like, you got your ass kicked, bro. Like, yeah, you were down a guy.
Own it, yeah.
I mean, he's a me guy.
You had to wait 10 minutes.
It's so weird because like he almost gets away with some of this shit because he's such like he's not a me guy like inside the court lines, but he's just such a me guy like everywhere else. Like every time there's a camera, me, and I just think like even if he actually was getting treatment, you couldn't wait 10 minutes.
No, absolutely.
Like 10
and what
minutes?
are you saying though to all the guys on his team? Like you got to sit there and watch this. You're sitting. I've been in blowouts. You sit there on a bench. You're like, man, this fucking sucks. And you just leave, like.
And also,
aren't you is he a captain? Is he technically captain of the Lakers?
I mean, he's everything.
Yeah, right. So like, what does that say? Also
with him, I mean, his stat line looks better. Like he kind of went crazy in the third quarter. Like I think he had like 17 in the third quarter. He hit like 5 threes. He had they were already down 30. Like he had like 7 points in the first half, not like 6 points, 7 points.
That was just a typical stat padding line.
Yeah, like
they got destroyed. No, Devin Booker came out and had 18 in the first quarter and just beat the shit.
I mean, there was never a game.
It's crazy because I sniffed it out right away, and Marty's like 0%. I wish he was fucking here. I'd be like, bro, it's 0.
I was on Suns last night too.
So there's a reason they were the 2, and LA had to play in.
So another thing that's interesting. This is one of my favorite things ever is Charles Barkley calling AD Anthony Street Clothes Davis in the post game last night. That is one of my favorites ever. And then I made a tweet about it, just like, I know every Pelicans fan had to love Barkley saying this. And then somebody said, well, at least AD got a ring. Well, yeah, he got a ring. He went and joined the damn super team in LA and didn't stick it out like Barkley did on top, teams. But Anthony Street Clothes Davis when I saw that, I about died. I was like, screw that guy.
AD's ring doesn't have a lot of shine on it. They won in a pandemic.
Bubble, yeah.
They won in a bubble. Never played a road game. They won on a Friday night during the MLB playoffs.
Yep.
No one saw it.
Up against the Yankees. Yeah, everybody already checked out in the
season.
NBA. Yeah, football. Like, that ring.
It'll live in his legacy. Like when we look back in like 30 years, like it'll be there, and people will forget a little bit. But right now, it's not like people are like. I don't think his legacy is really like made like a jump up in the eyes of the public right now.
It was a fake ring for LeBron too.
It's another one like the same exact thing. Like in 30 years, it'll be 4.
Yeah.
If he doesn't get any more, who knows if he'll get more. I guess over under he gets a ring. Do you think he gets another ring?
AD?
No, LeBron.
I feel like this year's almost they've had like one of those. I don't want to call it a throwaway year, but like everything went wrong. They won it last year. It's been a short year. Everybody got hurt. They have no chemistry on this team.
Because you can never really count him out.
No.
And if he gets bored with AD, he goes and gets a new toy. Or he gets supporting pieces around.
You just add someone else, I think.
Yeah,
to
like
the
Nets playbook. Blake. Like you've seen that a ton of times with LeBron, where he gets the
him
star,
and AD
but he
are
also adds the supporting cast around.
And AD's still in his prime.
See, but it's weird because like this year, like they obviously, like you said, they have a bunch of injuries, but they kind of did that. Like they grabbed Harrell, who didn't he win 6th Man of the Year last year? He was like the top candidate. They had they grabbed Schroeder. Like they got some like really good, like strong pieces. Like
Which
not
makes
all
me
stars,
think he's gonna get one
but
more.
strong pieces.
He'll get one more.
It's a weird year. So they were talking about this on the post game.
I don't want him to.
They were talking about this in the post game last night because usually in the NBA, do y'all remember NBA first round? How it's like 4 days between games in the first round series used to last like 2-3 weeks, and this year because of all the COVID stuff and the season starting later, they're doing it every other night, and they were saying it may be causing some injuries because players aren't getting as much rest, and maybe that's impacting it. I don't know. They were talking. Draymond Green and Barkley were talking a lot about it.
Well, Barkley should be on the opposite side of that because when Barkley was playing, the first round series were 5.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the Sonics.
Yeah, losing to the Nuggets.
Losing to the Nuggets as an 8-1. Yeah, it was a big.
Holding the basketball.
My favorite player as a kid was Sean Kemp, just because he could dunk. He was unbelievable. He was 7 years old, 8 years old. So Barkley should be knowing about the 5-game series, and Draymond, he looks a little soft, complaining that they're going every other night.
No, he didn't say. Well, no, Draymond didn't complain. He said if it does. No, Draymond. They talked about. Draymond said if it doesn't make dollars, then it doesn't make sense. Saying he gets why they do it.
Oh, of course. You knew they were going 7.
So the Lakers think, okay, AD, the groin thing. I mean, he's got 2 more days to get ready. I guess will he try to gut it out? I mean, his leaping ability and explosiveness is a huge part of his game. I don't know what to expect here. I mean, do you expect the Lakers to come back and win 6 or 7, or they don't? What's the series price that we discussed yesterday? I've never seen one swing as much as the Suns Lakers. I retweeted. It's just insane.
I think you could have got both teams at plus money.
Oh, you definitely
could have.
Day trade.
Oh, you could have got both at 2-1.
You could have got both at pretty big plus money. Yeah.
So just keep loading up units on those, and then
I feel like Game 6 is a game where you can't count LeBron at home.
No, definitely not.
I think everyone's going to kind of write him off a little bit, and that's when he comes and just like snatches your throat for a day. Game 7 on the road, he's done it before. Anything can happen. I think they need AD to win both.
But I don't know if these guys are like, you saw the thing. I hate to make it a LeBron MJ thing, but like Scottie Pippen was like dead. His back was fucked up. Ewing played through. There was a cover in the paper. I remember it was like where he used to put ice. His shoulder, his knee, his legs, his ankle. Like he was a walking fucking IR. And I don't know if AD's like, we're already down 3-1. Like he's like, I'm still got a couple years on my deal. I got indoor. Like, do we think AD's gonna push it and play hurt?
Well, that's where I think Barkley is calling him like street clothes Davis, because I always think it's annoying. I feel the same way as a fan. Like I get it. It's one thing to be on the sideline, one thing to play, but when he's running up and down the sideline, running up and down the bench, I'm like you said, like slap some ice on it, get out there tomorrow.
Right? Yeah. Like
because if I'm gonna see you run up and down the bench, and then you can't play, I'm like, you're just not pushing it. Like go push it.
I don't know. I just don't think there's like a die aspect on some of these guys. Certainly, maybe because they're all friends. Now I still say, like, if you look, like, they're all literally last night even, like, they're like, wow, Dame, comment, like, you should, like, yeah, the guy had an unbelievable performance, but, like, you know, don't jerk him. Like, I don't know. I liked it when there was villains, and not necessarily fist fights every night, but, like, yeah, I saw what Dame did. I'm going to go score 60. You know what I mean?
No,
like, I like that.
See, that, because that would have been, obviously, like, you hate to always make it like the Michael LeBron thing. That would have been, like, Michael's mentality is, I'm going to do that. Like you said, you drop 55, I'm going to go get 65
Without
tomorrow.
a doubt. Yeah, you know, it's just.
And I'm going to make even tougher shots in their face.
I think a lot of these guys are too friendly. I just wonder if AD has the killer instinct. If I had to guess, I don't think he's playing 6 or 7.
Also, the pressure's not really on him. Like, if they lose, it's Bron.
That's why it's
not him.
And they won
he could look like a save. He looked like a savior last year because he got him it. He looks like a savior next year if he comes back.
If you're the Suns,
especially if they lose with him injured.
Yeah, without a doubt.
In the Sun spot, I mean, you've got him by the throat. You want to close Game 6. You don't want to leave this door open and play LeBron with all this pressure on you, even at home in Game 7. You just don't even want to go down that road.
He's been there. I mean, he did it in the finals. Like, he's won Game 7s on the road.
No, I think 6 or 7.
I'm sorry. Chris Paul doesn't have the best Game 7.
Suns have to close out 6.
Either,
if Chris Paul wins, I know you
his
said
shoulder got a little banged up again last night, but they think he's okay.
I know you said Chris Paul's overrated.
I didn't say he's overrated.
Chris Paul,
I'm one of his biggest supporters.
I did.
Chris Paul gets out of the first round, I'm then rooting for him to win the title.
I just like to see. I've been all year. Like I've loved the Suns team all year long, and he's a part of it. For me, him being overrated for me was more like a almost being protective of Melo thing. Listen, the guy's a great player. I just always felt he got jerked off a little too much. Like he was like I've always felt like he got put in this kind of like elite group of players, and I never felt he broke that like I don't know if at any point in his career would you say he was a top 5 player in the NBA.
The thing I'll give Paul though,
no.
I guess that was where I'm coming from. Like I think he's a great player.
Well, my thing is, look at him. He went to a Thunder team last year that wasn't supposed to do a damn thing. Got him to the playoffs. Look at Phoenix. Yeah, they were hot in the bubble. Didn't make the playoffs. Now they're a 2 seed. You know, maybe he doesn't dominate games. He's a point guard, but he improves teams. He improves the rest of the team.
His basketball IQ
it's just he hadn't gotten to that championship level. Like, honestly, Golden State held him down for years. When he's a Clipper and a Rocket, they just kept coming up short to those Golden State teams.
His basketball IQ is not to be matched. I mean,
no, for sure.
It's unbelievable watching him. I loved him at Wake Forest. Like, he was the guy at Wake Forest. Like I said, I knew about him in high school. Like, I've kind of seen his whole career unfold. So, you know, listen, if LeBron's out and the Nets somehow get beat, or that's a major underdog story where the Suns are playing the Nets, give me fucking Chris Paul.
No, I'm all for chaos. It basically, if the Lakers lose, West is chaos. I think anything can happen. I think the Suns become the favorite for sure.
I think people are starting to respect Booker more too.
They're starting to give the Jazz a lot of even the lines. Like I think the Jazz are even plus 400 now to win it all.
I think they were still like 9-1
coming into the playoffs.
When they were the 1, and I was like, what do we think about the Jazz, guys? Just look at the numbers, and you're like, nah. Everybody kind of was like talking me off the ledge. I was like, all right.
You know, because
I liked them last year too during that playoff run in the bubble.
Because for me, my mindset was like, if I'm going to take one of them, I'd rather have the Suns. And I said that before the series started, and I stick to that now. Like I'd rather have the Suns. I just trust them more, and CP3 is definitely part of that. Like even though he hasn't played in the finals, I still trust him more than I do Donovan Mitchell and some of these guys in Utah.
I'll say this on the Jazz. I said after Game 1 I was worried they may not be able to win that. You know, they might be in trouble. Mitch come back, and They've proved me wrong.
Yeah,
they've really turned it on. They won both games in Memphis. They're 9.5-point favorite, looking to close it out. The Blazers Nuggets game last night. Did y'all watch it? I mean, Lillard. I can't believe C.J. McCollum stepped out of bounds with 9 seconds left. Ooh,
that's
man,
tough. I
was
like
tough.
C.J. McCollum. Dame. Are they saying Dame's contract's expiring?
No, he's on for like. That's why even as a Knicks fan, I don't let myself get too excited.
Well, I saw all that.
He's under contract through 2025.
All right, don't worry about it.
Like he's got like 3-4 years
But
left.
the issue is, so where do you guys lie? I've always said it, and you'll see it if you look on the timeline. People tag me immediately. Did you guys foul up 3? They missed the opportunity twice.
I don't know why people don't do it. I think it's damn crazy.
I think in the NBA, it's a little more difficult because you can get a guy who can They're so agile that you like to jump over a guy is not a. I don't know. It's. I would always foul.
Well, you do it far. Like you got to do it before. If you're gonna do it, half court.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking like at the half court line.
No, you got to get Dame before he crosses. Yeah. The second he crosses half court, he can pull up.
It's easy to say it after the fact, 100%, but you got to do it. Like,
the argument is always beforehand, especially high school and college. What would you rather do? One thing, just hit a 3, especially a guy like Dame Lillard who's just unbelievable, or 4 things: hit the first, which is not a given, miss the second, get the rebound, and score.
Or hit 2, foul, and try to do it again, which you know they're gonna, and just hope that they missed. I
think in most cases people aren't.
Because when he hit the second one, there was it like 6 seconds left when he hit the second one?
6 is a little too much for me. I'm always trying to foul under 5.
That's why the second one I think I foul, and then they're probably gonna foul again, and then you hope they miss.
Just make Dame. You can't let Dame beat you. As it turns out, Nuggets ended up winning, but Dame had him on the ropes twice.
I mean, even
the Nuggets were up like 54-32 in the second. Too.
And even through that, like how good he was, like through that, I tweeted through that first OT, he had 50 points on 21 shots.
I did see that.
That's 21 shots.
It's not to be matched.
That's absurd.
It's almost 2.5 points a shot.
Absurd.
Nuts. He was, what was he, 12?
I think at that point he was like 16 for 21 from the field.
I saw that.
He finished the game 12 of 17 from 3.
Okay, I saw 12
That's
of 16.
insane.
Yeah,
all of them are contested.
12 for 17
It's not
from
like
3.
he's sitting out there like,
55
like Joe
points.
Harris is for the Nets when he's wide open because everybody's keying on him.
And Austin Rivers
They better be contested.
Austin Rivers is a good defender. He's a big, long guy for a guard.
Didn't the Knicks have him?
Yes, we basically handed him away.
Fuck, I knew that.
And it was weird when we kind of did it because he was like playing like good basketball when he was on the court.
Yeah.
I think we just had so many guards, he kind of just didn't fit.
Just reinvest
didn't like fit
in
in
the youth. Yeah.
Man, well that series has just been so back and forth, and now it's 3-2 Nuggets heading back to Portland, and
I'd love to see a 7.
I think it feels like it's going 7.
Yeah.
And they played a 7-game series last year or was 2 years? No, it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, the Blazers won in Denver in Game 7. I remember.
Yeah.
And you got to give the Nuggets credit too, because man, losing Murray was such a killer. How good he was in the last 2 playoffs. Because when they added Aaron Gordon, he fit in so well with Porter stepping up and Jokic being the MVP, top guy, MVP guy that he is. With Murray, I thought they had a chance to win, like a really good chance to win the West.
Jokic's line was ridiculous too last night.
It's ridiculous every night.
They just, I mean, especially like, there's not really a ton of guys who can match up with him in the NBA, but when you got like Nurkic and like Enes Kanter who can't play defense on any center, like he just been eating them alive all series. If the
Blazers, we talked about chaos in the West. The Suns, we're pretty sure we think the Suns are going to win this series.
Yeah, I don't know. Until the Lakers are in their grave, I ain't saying.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
That's why I just
like Frank said, nail that motherfucking coffin shut. You can't you can't until
we got Playboy Marty in the studio who's like diehard. His brother works for the Suns diehard. And I was we were watching the game last night. I was like, you can do a video post game, and he's like, I'm not doing a thing until the series until it's over. But I did say I want to see a rant if the Suns win.
Would we take a flyer on the Blazers?
The Dame versus Paul.
Now, obviously,
for the series,
but
for the West.
All right. Would you take a flyer on the Blaze? Rank the order then. Confidence of picks. Blazers to come back and win the series. Blazers to win the West. Nuggets to win the West.
No,
you're already talking about chaos, right?
Yeah, I think the Suns get past the Blazers, the Nuggets, if they win. I really do. I don't think the Suns lose. I don't think the Suns lose to either one of those teams.
I out of those 3, like the one I'd want.
Paul shoulder injury though, if it flares up.
The one I'd want to put my money on most would probably be Blazers to win the series.
Okay.
Just because, and honestly, I feel like this has. the series for me kind of has written all over it where Blazers come back, win this game at home, and then Nuggets win a close game in Game 7 in Denver. But
it feels like it could go either way, and all hell breaks loose every night.
I think the problem is for me with the get behind the Nuggets or Blazers. I agree. Like I think the Suns and Jazz are both better than them. Are both better than both those teams, in my opinion.
Okay, and then looking ahead tonight,
I trust them more for sure.
So
you know what you can get the Suns to win the West right now?
What?
5-1.
Their odds have been all year. Mark,
I bet. What are the Jazz? Probably like 2 to 1.
160.
There you go.
The Paul shoulder thing is concerning them a little bit.
Vegas is given. I just said it before that the Jazz are plus 400 to win it all. That's got to be like the third favorite, second favorite, probably second favorite.
Second.
Like Vegas is giving
Nuggets
them a ton of respect.
I'm sorry, the Nets at 170, the Bucks at 550. I'm not buying that.
No.
Clippers at 6, 76ers at 9, and the Suns at 10-1. Lakers still 12-1 down, 3-1 in the first
Sixers.
round.
Okay,
Because they know if they
3-2.
3-2. I apologize. If they start pricing that up too much, people are going to jump on the Lakers. You know, like credit to the sportsbook. Like
well, you'll see. But you'll see if they win Game 6, that number will jump from like 12-1 to like 7 or 8 probably.
So if you think the Lakers are going to come back, you almost have to take it now.
You have to just know about 8. It's just 8.
I almost think if you were on the Lakers to begin the postseason, I almost think you got to jump back on them now.
Yeah, right.
12-1.
I don't hate that.
No, I don't either. So the Clippers Mavs thing's 2-2. Game 5 tonight, but
that over.
Yeah, but what the tale of 4 games? The Mavs win the first 2, and the Clippers dominate the last 2. Do you think the Mavs are done, or what are we going to see here tonight? I mean, this is.
No, I mean if you have Luka, you're never done.
You're getting 7 tonight.
Yeah.
I think the Clippers have the experience with.
Kawhi.
You know, they've been there. They've kind of been knocking on the door. I think it seems like it's their time. Maybe they see what's going on across town. Lake is kind of dead in the dumps.
See, they're the
I like
team.
The Clip. I'm betting the over because I'm just committed to the overs, but I would like the Clip. I like the
They're the team that no one's talking about in the West. That if they go win this series and the Lakers lose, it almost just kind of like popped in my head as when he brought it up. I was like, the Clippers are the team that no one's talking about. They went down 2-0. Everyone wrote them off. Me, I'll even admit, kind of included. Like I thought they were in big trouble. They responded huge. What were their odds to win the West?
Clippers?
Yeah.
You said 6-1. Is that what you said?
Oh, was it that low?
No, 6-1 to win it all.
To win the West, 260.
Oh, geez.
Plus 260.
To win it all, 6-1.
See, so there you go. Like Vegas is giving them a lot of respect.
Right.
Vegas is literally putting them basically next to the Jazz.
Yeah, they're saying the winner of that. They're saying the winner of that series. Kinda.
The Jazz are not the Jazz. The Clippers. I don't even want to say dark horse because they have all this talent.
Right.
They have a good coach. Like it's all there.
The Clippers thing is actually really interesting too because they burned everybody so many times that they've gone from like overvalued to undervalued. You know what I mean? Because everybody's gotten burnt. Like Notre Dame football has done that too. It's like you go from like being super public and everybody knew about the Lob City era and they choked all that, and then everybody was hyped on them last year and they fell apart against the Nuggets and they fired Doc Rivers. And so now everybody's just crapping on them, just saying, "Oh, it's the Clippers," but it's Ty Lue, and it's I don't know. I mean, I just think it's one of those things where maybe people are overlooking them just because of their past.
I think so. I think they're kind of sneaking under the radar.
I mean, I don't know. That Clippers.
I think just go, especially like you said, last year just being so bad, going down 0-2.
I think that was like they were co-favorites with the Lakers the whole year last year.
The NBA,
a lot of
and then Paul George melted down in the playoffs.
You look at some of these markets, the NBA is going to – they thought for sure they were going to have Lakers-Nets. Like Lakers-Nets, East-West, 2 big markets. The NBA is probably shitting themselves looking at Milwaukee, Phoenix, Milwaukee, Utah.
Yeah, Sixers would be good for them.
Denver, Philly, yeah.
Yeah, Philly's good.
Anything Milwaukee, Phoenix, Milwaukee, Utah, Milwaukee, Denver. The NBA is going to be – David Stern's going to be rolling his fucking grave. Being like, I can't believe these – especially after a year where a lot of people checked out on the NBA. Those rankings got to be the worst finals ever, right?
Well, see, it's funny, too. Because
and I think it's great, though, because it's 2 teams – you know,
I like
underdog.
Seeing well,
that's what I was going to say. The one knock on the NBA is that it's always the same teams every year.
Yeah.
So then it's like the one year we're going to get, if we got like 2, the Nets wouldn't be random, but like we knew. But if we get a random West team, then everyone's not going to watch it because it's not what we're used to.
Because people are stupid. That might be the most evenly matched series, though. You know what I mean?
No, I love seeing the small markets get their day, though, man. I think that's a great thing in the NBA that Milwaukee has a chance to compete for championships. And I know Oklahoma City didn't have the longevity, but what they were able to build, because that just gives hopes for sports. I mean, you see, I know people can do it pro baseball, but they're up against so much more with the different salaries. I don't know. I like everybody having their day. The NFL's the best about it.
Yeah, NBA's tough, though. NBA, really, you have to land. I mean, look at Oklahoma City. They had 3 of the 10 best players at the time. Couldn't keep them together. Like, they got to a finals, but you got to, like, land that shit quick. You got to do it in the first 4 or 5 years before those guys start to go to a big market and make the super, where they can make the super money. You know what I mean?
Well, they just
they didn't handle the Harden thing right. Too.
No,
they gave away for way.
You got to hit lightning.
Kevin Martin, come on.
You got to hit lightning in a bottle with that shit.
Well, they just blew it because they did it organically. Like, they drafted all 3 guys like back to back to back, and that was even though the Warriors, the draft picks weren't as high, they did it like they drafted the guys. You keep them there. Like, I just felt like they felt this pressure, like they couldn't have these 3 guys play together. Like, why not? Like, they just blew it. They just absolutely blew it. And like you said, trading James Harden for fucking Kevin Martin and a couple of ham sandwiches.
No, that was
just miserable.
At the time, I thought they won that trade.
Well, Harden was 6 man. He wouldn't even start.
I like the picks. Then they turned the picks into dog shit too.
NBA
so you couldn't have foreseen that. But at the time, I was like, all right, they can't keep all of them. Harden's got to go, and I don't think Harden was the superstar back then. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, he wasn't. But he was their 6th man.
That's what I'm saying. So I was like, all right.
Well, he was the 6th man, and then you watched him play in the Rockets. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, he's better than Russell Westbrook.
Yeah,
like, I'd rather have him than Westbrook.
But you can't fault him at the time for thinking he was the 3rd horse. So
I can't fault him for thinking he was the 3rd horse, but I'll fault him for not trying harder to make it work.
Right.
Like I feel like they never made this real. Like, now you got Kyrie, KD, him on the court all at the same time a lot.
Yeah, it's
like they could have tried that a little harder.
It's amazing how that couldn't work 10 years ago, and now all of a sudden it works all the time.
Perfectly.
And moving on for the Nets, speaking of Harden and Durant, all right, we kind of touched on it yesterday. I want to go a little farther on the early series price in the Nets Bucks. It's plus 150 for the Bucks, I believe is what I've seen.
What's the Nets?
The Nets is like minus 180 or 90 maybe.
It's that much?
I agree. Like I agree with. I think it's a good line. Like I think that's a fair.
I don't know. Maybe I'm overrating the Drew Holiday thing, but I think this is where he's going to make a difference.
I think
he has to though. I mean, they don't. If he doesn't on defense, give the Harden and them some problems, they're going to get lit up.
I wouldn't lay the 180, 190. If I had to, I would, because I do think the Nets are going to win. I would hope the same way. Bucks win game 1. And then you load up on the Nets.
I was going to say the same thing.
Because it doesn't really change much. We've seen – I mean, the Lakers lost to the fucking Sixers, for Christ's sakes, in game 1. Everyone made a big deal of it. They ended up winning 4-1. Like, you see that shit. You know?
I mean, Grizzlies, Jazz, granted Mitchell was out.
Yeah, it's like so –
Well, the public always – like, one of the biggest gambling fallacies is the overreaction to whatever just happened. Yeah. I mean, literally, whatever people saw last is all they remember, like the common people. And so that speaks to your point. I feel like
I would hope the Bucks win 1, and I would load up on the Nets.
No, I agree. I just think I don't think that series goes more than 6.
I think Durant's motivated to get a ring by himself. Technically, new team, whatever. I think they want it.
I just think the Nets are just a much better basketball team.
I'm curious. And the honest thing too, I feel like he's unbelievable. I'm not saying he isn't, but he gets exposed in the playoffs a little bit. It actually, a multi-sport comparison reminds me of Lamar Jackson. Like the freak athletes, but like Lamar can't pocket pass and Giannis can't make perimeter shots, and it's like fatal flaws that get exposed in the playoffs. But during the season, they can like hide it. Right. I know that's a weird comparison, but
no, I don't hate the comparison. I mean, it makes sense. Like on a random Tuesday in January, guys might be a little beat up. In the playoffs, everyone's geared up. So yeah, you do get exposed. You can't hit the mid range.
And I think people he wants to drive like you said, like in the postseason, lanes a little more full. Playing harder defense, like those, just driving just one dribble from the 3-point line and a dunk isn't going to, like you said, it's not going to come as easy today as it was random December game.
Right.
All right, guys, we're going to get serious for a second. The last year has been hard on a lot of people, and that's why we're doing something new and partnering with our new sponsor, BetterHelp Online Therapy. At Barstool Sports, we truly love and appreciate our listeners. Without you, none of us would be able to do what we do every day. So once in a while, we try to bring you something good. Maybe it's for you. Maybe it's not. A lot of us take care of our bodies, but with as tough of a year this has been on many of us, we also might want to think about taking care of our minds. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. Join the millions of people who are seeing what therapy is all about. It's always a good time to invest in yourself and your well-being because you are your own greatest asset. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/picks. That's BetterHelp.com/picks. Get your mind right, boys. That's what we're all about.
Go.
We're all about that. All right, I promise we do like 10 to 15 minutes on this. I am stoked. Rico, I didn't see this until you told me about the sport. So, obviously, a lot of y'all have seen I've been writing blogs and pushing college baseball content for Barstool the last couple months. Just being transparent about it. I'm a Southern guy. I'm trying to help build our Southeast presence. College baseball is a huge deal in the South. I know it's not as big a deal up north. I've gotten a pretty good response, I think. But now it's time to really show why I've done it. And I'm thrilled. The Barstool Sports book, we got futures odds for the College World Series.
Take it all down.
We've got them up, and then I don't know. I know we're going to have lines for the College World Series in Omaha. We might be getting them for the Super Regionals next weekend, 2 out of 3. I'm not 100% sure on that. I certainly am hoping so. I'm going to be doing all kinds of promotions with the sports book to try to build this. Going to Omaha, we've got a pin property, Ameristar Council Bluffs, which is 5 minutes from Omaha, with a sports book that's going to have lines. Just super pumped about it. I think Omaha, what y'all are seeing in sports right now, you see the Indy 500 with 135,000 people. You saw the PGA Championship. Man, crowds are ready to roll. Omaha's going to be a freaking party, boys. It's going to be a throwdown as long as the right teams make it.
Omaha is always one of those things where I never put it on my calendar, but when it's on, you always check. I remember Rice, Cal State Fullerton.
Vanderbilt always, like South Carolina.
Last couple, you have South Carolina went back
Louisiana's Raging Cajuns.
LSU used to.
Yeah, I know all the teams. Like, you check it out. I still think it's bizarre that they play with metal bats.
But see, I actually love that.
I like the sound. That ping is awesome.
Ping is unbelievable, but I still think somebody's going to die.
Well, they're not as powerful as they yanked. They're dialed back now. They yanked it back and they made the ball surfer. But that's my thing.
3 weeks, the World Series, in a normal year, the College World Series ends around Memorial Day.
No, they made it in June. It's June.
Okay, June.
It's always when the NBA Finals.
Got it.
June's like U.S. Open golf, College World Series, NBA, NHL.
So it's a little after the draft. All right, got it. So then in a week and a half, those guys, after they win the World Series or lose the College World Series, are going to play minor league baseball with wood bats.
Well, so they switched the draft to July. Usually the draft was during the
during
college baseball draft. I was at an Ole Miss Regional a couple years ago on a Monday night where Ole Miss's ace pitcher got drafted first round during the middle of the damn regional game, which has got to be insane for these players who've worked their entire lives to get drafted and they're playing in the NCAA tournament. But I'm glad they backed it up. But I'm just excited to see. I'm pumped that we got these odds up in the sports book because, being transparent for college baseball to work at Barstool, got to make money for the company. We need lines.
Yes.
And also, we launched shirts yesterday, Barstool and Omaha shirts, and we are selling them really good. All we have are small and double X's in stock after the first day. So that's, I gotta say, that pumped me up to see them doing well.
Sounds like all the regular guys are buying them.
Yeah, I'm excited. Well, the demand, I know the demand is there. Like, it's segmented because it's like big South, Southeast, and Texas. And I'm not a big pro baseball guy. We've got all these Northeast guys. I don't know. I'm just really excited.
It makes sense. I mean, baseball is America's fucking pastime, right? College football and college basketball, the whole world knows, even casual fans know, hey, who do you like, Carolina +6 or Mississippi +8 in an NCAA tournament game? Football, Wisconsin, Ohio State. I'm telling you, Wisconsin's catching too many points. Like, you'll see that shit all over. So why doesn't baseball move the needle? If they can, great. Let's get the lines up.
That's the biggest thing. People got to be able to gamble on it because what it is, college baseball right now, like, I'm an Ole Miss fan, and I'll watch every Ole Miss game. I'll watch them in midweek playing UL Monroe, whatever. But to care about other teams, we need the dang lines.
Yeah,
like, everybody's a fan of their own team, but there's no fantasy sports, and there's no gambling. You got to have that for people to watch other stuff.
I also think,
I'm not, and I could give a crap about fantasy. I'm just worried about the gambling.
No, well, you bring up a good point, kind of, with fantasy. As MLB starts to get faded out, or they're not doing anything to help themselves, maybe they should be pitching college hey, these guys, in 2 weeks, this guy's going to be the Yankees' top prospect. You talked about that closer from Arkansas.
Yeah, Kevin.
Like, hey, start getting eyes on these guys. Entice the, tie in wherever you have to tie in the gambling. You can get a little geared up of, hey, you're gonna watch the future of your franchise.
No, yeah, I'm kind of doing like on the blog. I'm doing a lot of Cliff's Notes stuff. Like I'm kind of writing it as in a lot of people that may not know a ton about this. Here are the players you need to know. Here's like atmosphere. You know, that's kind of how I'm approaching it. But I'm looking at these odds right now on the Barstool Sports book, and Arkansas is the #1 overall seed. They won the SEC regular season. They won the SEC tournament. They're freaking awesome, and I have no love lost. I'm not a Razorback fan. I think everybody knows that. They've got this closer I just mentioned to you, Rico. His name's Kevin Kopps. 10-0, 10 saves, 0.81 ERA, 66 in the third innings, 105 Ks. They put him in the 6th or 7th inning. He pitches the last 3 or 4 innings, and on a Friday they'll put him in the 6th or 7th, and then on Sunday they do it again. He throws this over-the-top slider that's like vertical. Nobody can hit it.
Okay.
It's like the Mariano Rivera cutter of college baseball.
Is he going to be like an early draft pick? He's got to be, right?
Yeah, I think
Gotta
so.
be.
I think so. But they're loaded. They were one of the nation's leaders in home runs. They got second a couple of years ago when they dropped the foul ball that would have clinched it against Oregon State. But they hadn't won one, but they're the favorite. And I think the odds are right now, and I got to give credit to this. If y'all noticed this on the Barstool Sportsbook, we give the best futures odds I've ever seen. Like a lot of times when you look at futures, you get scummed on the VIG a lot by other unnamed. I'm not saying anybody. But like Arkansas here is unanimously the #1. I saw a pool thing that people were doing like an NCAA bracket pool, and like 62% of people took Arkansas to win it. And you're getting them 15-2 to win it. That's a great odds. I mean, I think that's a phenomenal value. They're regional. They're #2 seeds Nebraska, who won the Big Ten, and the Nebraska fans are so freaking pissed. They won the Big Ten regular season. They didn't have a conference tournament because of all the COVID. They played Big Ten only, and the NCAA punished them and didn't give the Big Ten any host spots. And now Nebraska was supposed to be one of the stronger #2s, and they got sent to Arkansas. Their fans are bitching like crazy. And I'm wearing a New Jersey Institute of Technology shirt. Thanks to their coach, DeLeo, for sending them. They're the 4 seed. They got to go play Arkansas. They're on the plane right now.
Shock the world.
Godspeed.
Let's
Coach Musselman already weighed in. He said,
Newark, baby.
I like
Newark.
Rico, but no, Arkansas is going to win.
Newark.
Can root for the underdog.
The other favorite, so Texas is
the crazy thing, real quick.
Go ahead.
The
Ask
crazy thing to
whatever.
me.
This is my thing.
I mean, obviously it makes sense. The SEC, they're playing baseball year round. Have you seen these futures? Arkansas at 7.5. Vanderbilt's 3rd at 9. Tennessee's 4th at 10. Mississippi State's 6th at 18. Ole Miss is 33. Like Florida.
Oh yeah.
The SEC, it's insane right
so
now. LSU.
So Rico, here's a stat: 16 regionals in college baseball. Because the way college baseball works, right? You have 16 regional sites, and it's 4-team double elimination tournaments. That's how it works. So every regional has 4 teams in the bracket, and you have to lose twice to get eliminated.
Got it.
And so and then the 16 regional winners play in 8 2 out of 3 super regionals, and then the 8 super regionals make Omaha.
You got to win your regionals, not top 2. Okay.
No, you got to win your regional, and so it's really key to win your first 2 because if you lose, you're going to gas your staff.
Yeah.
And having to play doubleheaders because the regionals are Friday to Monday. But so anyway, there's 16 regionals. 7 of the 16 hosts are SEC. Wow. The 7th one is South Carolina, who's actually a #2 seed. But they're playing Old Dominion's the one, and Old Dominion had too small of a stadium and facilities, and so they're having it in Columbia. So what a break for South Carolina to get to host them. But 7 of the 16 are hosts.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. But I mean, I say this all the time. SEC baseball is better than SEC football.
That's what I was going to say. They sound like they're more dominant.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd literally be like if. What would that be like if literally 20 of the 25 top 25 teams were from the SEC?
So
it's like impossible.
There's a possibility. I don't want to get ahead of myself. There's a possibility the SEC could hold the Triple Crown. The SEC team wins now. Alabama holds the current. It would change because of next year. But let's say another SEC team wins in January. I think a champion's coming from basketball in the SEC.
Really?
They're gearing up. Bama and Arkansas are both loaded. LSU's moving up. Like that Kentucky's never out of it. That conference to me is fascinating. I know that's just my little basketball plug.
It's getting better.
But the SEC is turning into must-watch television down there.
Now, I love hearing that, too, because Mike Slive, the commissioner, before he left, like he there was like a big meeting in Destin that was famous. It was like 7 or 8 years ago. We called everybody in, and he just went off on everybody. He was just like, y'all, other than Kentucky, he's like, y'all aren't taking basketball serious enough. And then after that, look at all the coaches that are there now.
They start to get some characters. Bruce Curl.
Rick Barnes, Musselman.
I respect the fuck out of that.
No, he went off. He was like, y'all
Him
were
just
great
saying,
in
"Figure
football
this
and
shit
baseball.
out."
There is also a like us against the world mentality in the SEC with hoops that Calipari's like the king, so to speak. And all these guys are like, nah, man, fuck him because we're just as good, if not. I still say there's 3 or 4 coaches better than Calipari, but you ask anybody on the street who's the best coach in the SEC, they're gonna say
he's the best recruiter.
And these guys are building their programs. Chasing this guy, there's like a villain. You saw how contentious the SEC championship game was. LSU, Arkansas.
Oh, I love
Alabama.
No, I love what they.
SEC
I love what they got going on. Like Musselman and Oates don't like each other.
Oh yeah, Will
and,
Wade.
like,
Nobody.
Will
likes
Wade.
Nobody likes Will
They
Wade.
don't like Will Wade.
No,
We like no. The bench mob. The bench mob likes
I like
Will Wade.
Wade too.
The bench mob likes Will Wade.
I know. I get hate all the Ole Miss fans have, but I respect.
I mean, he plays it up. He knows what's going on.
They don't like each other. That's just great for just the sport.
Right. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure the SEC holds those Sunday game or the Saturday noon, and then when the Super Bowl ends, they start to get that SEC deal.
Yeah, it was like his Big Ten, I think, does the Sunday like 1 o'clock, Sunday noon.
Yeah. So the SEC they should be on prime time all the time. The only thing that's gonna suck is they're gonna fucking trot Dick Vitale down there left and right.
The one thing that SEC basketball, the thing that's great, like, especially like recently, they play fast. Like even though this year they were down, they play an entertaining brand of basketball.
Bama rain. They just, like that
Bama's
Maryland
fast.
game when they're just making it rain.
Bama fast, LSU's fast.
That was 2 of the easiest.
Like Auburn was fast. Like a bunch of these, they want to run up and down, score a ton of points.
That was one of the worst days of the tournament as far as watching games. But those were 2 laughers back to back. I had Alabama and USC like 11 ways to Sunday. It was fucking so easy.
Yeah, I actually got killed the whole day, and then I had those 2 to bail.
The only thing I regret is just not hitting it live because you were like, it was like 13, and then you're like, and it's like 12 and a half, 11 live, and that should have just been a
just submit.
No, I agree. I remember that, Ev, you were all over that USC, Kansas, too. I remember you said USC forever.
Yeah.
Kansas, we knew Kansas.
That was my like bailout of the century, USC.
Yeah, Kansas was so overrated. I think they're back this year.
Just want to touch base, though. You can check these odds out on our Barstool Sportsbook. I believe, though, as I said about our futures, these are the best odds. I mean, you're getting unbelievable odds. I feel like all our futures, when I look at them, almost feel like we boost them. Like you really get true. No, you get true odds, and that's a thing you got to watch as a gambler. Like it's so you don't realize how bad you get vigged on futures, and so the fact we give true odds, I just can't say enough. Big props that we actually do that. I'll have a blog breaking down these odds in a pick or two. Dave called me out on Davey Day Trader yesterday, wanting Bayou Bend college baseball picks. He's like, you damn sure better have some picks for me.
Be careful.
I know, I agree, but I mean, I got to give the man picks. I just hope we win.
Tread lightly.
Be careful.
I'll do what I can. I'll try.
Listen, give him.
I gotta give them to him though,
Ben,
right?
If you go 4-0, he will buy you a car. If you go 0-1. He will cut your leg off. That's the balance. That's how we operate. But you got to take that chance to go get the car. It's like
honestly,
press your luck. You got to go get it.
4-0, you might just get like an attaboy.
Yeah.
I feel like he almost
4-0. He's looking for the 5th. I'll put it that way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I feel like he almost like
he thought
in a way
Tommy
wants me to lose.
I don't want to speak out of turn. He thought Tommy was a good luck charm. I think Tommy moved in with him for a couple of nights. Like he's very superstitious. If he's got guys around him that are making him money, he likes it.
Well, I'm going to do a hell of a lot of research because if Dave's taking my college baseball picks, win or lose, they're going to be well thought out.
Or you can get to a point with me where you just, no matter what, he'll blindly fade you. Be like, Dave, I'm 52 games above 500. Doesn't matter. He'll blindly fade you. He'll always know about the one loss. All right, Dave, whatever you want to do.
That's hey, well, either way, pay attention to college baseball. So I feel like that's a spot. But once again, thank y'all for buying those shirts, though. I was really touched.
So is it Arkansas or bust?
No, it's not Arkansas. But Vandy with Kumar Rocker and Leiter, they've got the 1 and 2 picks in the draft. I mean, literally, that's how good their starters are. And so I wouldn't say the only thing it's a bummer. I feel like Arkansas and Vandy both have great draws to get to Omaha, and you got to be careful about that, betting people to win the national title. You got to make sure you like their draws to get to Omaha. But Arkansas and Vandy are matched up in the same bracket in Omaha. And so you can't. There's no way they can play in the national championship. They're the 1 and the 4 seeds, and so they're kind of on a collision course. They played in the SEC tournament.
I don't hate taking both of those.
No, I don't either.
Seeds hold. Now you have a 7.5 or a 9 to get.
But they're both great. Yeah,
get
and one. I mean, there's
semi.
like no. I mean, I don't. You never want to say no chance.
Right.
But there's both one. I mean, at least one's making Omaha. Texas is the number 2 overall seed, and they have the former Tulane coach who's built it up. I think they're very good, but I'm not totally convinced. Like that other side of the bracket looks a little weaker to me. Tennessee's 10-1. Unbelievable story. Tony Vitalo's he's former Arkansas top assistant. Van Horn's top assistant.
Okay.
He's really done. They're kind of a sum of all parts team. Deeper lineup, deep pitching staff. No real superstars, but they got some swag. TCU won the Big 12 tournament. They're 15-1. That they've Schlossnagle. They've got a really good program. They've gone to Omaha a bunch, but they hadn't necessarily done as great there. Mississippi State's 18-1. They're really good. They're a 7 seed. I mean, they're certainly got a chance. Notre Dame was the best team in the ACC. Arizona's the best team in the Pac-12. I could go on and on about it, but Ole Miss 33-1. Going to be tough for the Rebs. Like we got Ole Miss has Southern Miss is the 2 and Florida State is the 3. We've got a balls tough regional in Oxford that people are kind of bitching about. But if they do win, they get Arizona in the super. So I think it's wide open. But either way, we're gonna get to our picks in a second. I'm just pumped that we have these up in the sports book. You know, I kind of said out loud once again, we need lines, we need merch to go well. I think both things wheels are in motion. We're going to Omaha for the first time. I feel good about where this is headed. I just really appreciate the support we're getting. All right, guys, let's get to our pick.
Hopefully we succeed on the college level, and then we get the Little League World Series lines.
Boom.
Well,
Shut up, Reese Russell.
Just hoping.
on the 12-year-olds. I'll let you go down that road. I don't know. The 12-year-olds.
I said just hoping. I'm not demanding anything. I'm not speaking out of turn. Jason Owens is a personal friend
It'd be
of mine.
nice.
It'd be nice if we had him.
In a perfect world.
It'd be real nice if we had him.
All right, guys, let's get to the picks.
Also, the spelling bee is next week. It'd be nice if we had that, too. Just saying.
the spelling bee, Lord.
I remember my first day as an intern, I did the Barstool spelling bee. I think I spelled chromosome wrong. Oh man.
I got second in the spelling bee to like a genius when I was in 8th grade. I feel like I'm okay at spelling.
Those kids are whack jobs. It's fun to watch. You remember? Because you would come home from school at like 2:30. It was on. A bunch of weirdos. They had the miserable guy like this. Spell chromosome, and someone would ask the question like, use the origin. The origin is. I would just say this drives. Just unintentional comedy. Do you remember the famous video of the girl talking into her hands and then going like, "C, hey," like she was a lunatic. Sorry, just that shit fucking.
Because they all like the Akil and the B thing, like where she like slaps her thigh as she does it. They all got a little like routine that helps them like remember.
That shit makes me laugh.
All right, guys, let's get to our picks for the day. It's a new month. I faded. Look, I actually was in second doing well last month, and I fell off a damn cliff last week. And I was the only one that finished under 500. New day yesterday. Great start, 5-1, plus 4 units. Got kind of lucky in that net. The Nets won by 14. Had them by 13.
Yeah.
Celtics dribbled it out at the end. They easily could have scored to cover, but ended up having a good night. Had the Suns last night, so I guess I get to go first. Today I've got the New York Mets minus 104, and then I've got a couple juice bags. The Astros minus 148 and Oakland minus 157. Also got the Oakland A's team total over 4.5. I've been riding these team totals on Oakland. They scored 12 runs yesterday. They've been hitting the ball. I've been hitting these team totals.
Yeah, A's are not dead, man.
They're
huge
first.
I
I
almost feel like I missed them. I had everything on them last year. I'm wondering if they're a sleeper this year. With the Yankees struggling, like
they're first in the West.
I know.
Yeah, and so I've got my parlay today. I'm trying to start. I know Ev, you've been doing it too. I'm trying to start doing a parlay for the sports book every day. I've got the A's by 1.5 and Oakland over 4.5 runs in Seattle. So I've got them to kind of blow out Seattle again. NBA tonight. I took the Wizards plus 6 because no Embiid.
Okay.
And I just think the Wizards. You saw it in Game 4. I'm not saying they're going to win, but they're going to fight. I mean, with Westbrook, they're not going to concede shit.
Sixers start sweating if the Wizards win.
Yeah. How bad's the Embiid? I know he's out tonight. How bad's the Embiid thing?
I think the fact that they said yes. I think the fact that they said
I
think the fact they said yesterday already he was out. I think he's in. I think it might be trouble for him to play again this series.
Right.
Look, I think the Wizards are going to fight, and without Embiid, I mean, I don't know if they're going to win. I think it's going to be a close game.
Okay.
Tonight.
No, if they win tonight, things are going to it gets interesting.
All right.
I think it definitely because you saw he came out. It was a different basketball team. Like they just collapsed without him. absolutely collapsed.
No, and the other thing too is the Wizards. I mean, nobody really has an answer for Embiid, but the Wizards are really weak down low. I mean, they're guard oriented.
Massive loss.
So I expect them to fight hard. And then I've been like I said, one of the cold takes I had was the Jazz thing. I said that after game 1, I thought Memphis really had a chance. Even with Mitchell come back, I was 100% wrong. Utah's won 3 in a row. I bet on Memphis in them. That's part of why I ended up falling off. But, of course, I'm going to concede and flip tonight. I think Utah closes it out. I think the fact that they won those 2 in Memphis, at Memphis, I think broke the spirit of the Grizzlies, losing 3 in a row and losing both at home, and I think they're done. So I've got the Utah closing out by 9.5 and also have the under in the Marlins Blue Jays. I'm in first place after day 1, but let's not get the anointing oil out just yet. What y'all got, guys?
I'm back to a couple NBA overs. I got the Sixers Wizards over 229. I think if anything that just makes it a little easier for the Wizards to get inside. I think they're going to run a ton, especially without Embiid. I think they're both going to run a shit ton. I love that over. I'm on the Knicks Hawks over too. I think it's one of those weird games where obviously they both play, especially the Knicks play that defensive style of basketball. I just think it's going to be like more of a wide open game. Like it's also a big factor that I put into this. The Knicks backs against the wall, do or die elimination game. End of the game, they're going to foul a lot if it's a close game. They're going to foul, do everything they can to stay in it, give that little extra boost. I like the over there. I'm riding with the Knicks. I've also got the chopped cheese special. I got the Knicks-Yankees parlay boosted. It's already up in the Barstool Sportsbook plus 240. I'm on the Cubs money line. They're hot right now.
Cubs are red hot.
I love the Cubs.
They're first.
Cubs are red hot right now. Give me the Cubs little 220 special. And then tonight, I got the Dodgers minus 1.5. That's the card.
Okay.
You've been hot. He's still hot, too.
Had a good night last night.
2-1. You don't appreciate me. I go 2-1 for you, and you don't appreciate me. That's another reference, by the way.
It's going to take me. I already live in my own world mentally completely. And
we
so, I just walk around
and bring it full circle. I'm on the Clips Mavs over. I'm going to die on that series. You lost the vig on that. You're 2-2 with those overs.
What's going on with Luka health?
Who cares? I'm taking the over.
It scored 81 points last game. It scored 81 points last game.
Yeah, I'm just taking the fucking over.
All right.
So it's a principle thing. Like St. Louis Cardinals, Dodgers over 8. So that's fine if the Dodgers score $1 million. I'm on the A's minus 1.5.
You're with me there.
Yep. And let me get Jack's text because I have the Brian Cushing in the Barstool Sportsbook. It is boosted. Philadelphia 76ers money line, Dodgers money line, Jazz money line, LA Clippers money line. Boosted from 230. It's plus 270. Cushing.
Love it.
Love it.
Open up your asshole. Yep. Let the juice in.
Maybe just the cheek.
Want to mention too, we still got.
Doesn't it go fast though? It goes right to the blood if you do it in your asshole.
I thought it's in the cheek.
I knew a guy who did it right in his
steroids
asshole.
Up the asshole.
I knew a guy who did it in his asshole. He gets faster.
He gets in that bloodstream.
Is he jacked?
He gets the. I don't know. I want to mention, but I want to change the subject quickly and say, hey, we got some great promotions still at the Barstool Sportsbook. We still got the overs bonanza going on, which is, I mean, some of these promotions.
Indiana.
Some of these promotions.
Looking at you.
Yeah, I don't even. Some of the promotions we have are just. I mean, you deposit $100 and opt in, and you get 4 free $100 bets.
Yeah, it's big.
It's insane, and then you get the Colts over 9.5, Notre Dame over 10, Indiana over 8, and Big Cats can't lose parlay. This weekend, for $100, you're getting like 500. I mean,
and keep in mind with the Colts, that's 9.5, 17-game schedule.
Yeah, and no, I like the Colts this year. I'm not just saying that because of the promotion.
Also, at any point, I think
Wentz with Reich is going to be a huge upgrade over Rivers.
At any point, if it comes down to those games, let's say Notre Dame is 10-2. What's their over? 10.5. 10. Sorry, so let's say they're 10-1 in the last game, and USC is 3-1. You can't lose.
Yeah.
Relatively on that, like you're playing with house money on it if it comes down to that, or you just start taking a couple of games left. You take the money line on somebody against the Colts, whatever. Either way, and you get the roof of Tom Allen. That's the most important thing. That guy in Indiana, I love him.
Yeah, it's over 8-0. I caught a lot of shit yesterday on the after dinner minutes. I called them the University of Indiana instead of Indiana University. They didn't like that.
Yeah, they're big on the.
No, I felt bad. I apologize. I should have reset. I apologize for this hype video I did for the Ole Miss Outback Bowl that got our boys pumped up to beat them. But actually, I'm not very sorry about that. But But no, I felt bad. I definitely do respect their university, and I like Tom Allen. But
Love Tom Allen.
Yeah, I mean, and eight wins on them, I think is very doable. I mean, their program's on the way up.
I wish they weren't becoming like a little bit of a rival.
Right.
Like I love everything about that guy, but when we play him, I want to crush his spirit.
Yeah, exactly. They play tough though.
No, they play.
No,
Hard.
I mean,
that comeback against
that
Ohio
second
State
half.
was-
I mean,
yeah.
oh man,
Unbelievable.
No, but we got great promotions, and that's actually not just for Indiana. That's I think the Overspan you can get in all 4 states.
Is it, I think that one might just be Indiana.
Okay, my bad. Okay, my bad.
I think.
Yeah,
I think.
New customer.
New
But either way,
customers.
I mean, it's
I don't know, but we just have unbelievable promotions all the time.
you
and,
get 4 free futures in
dude,
there. It's
I mean,
like a
$100
$10 bill you found in
Yeah.
your pocket.
and you get to pull for all the local
Yeah.
teams the entire year. You buy your investment the entire
Without a doubt.
season. So I just love all the promotions we're doing in the sports book, and excited for another night. I'm gonna be so y'all are tomorrow.
Oh, I see
Tomorrow
one thing too
Thursday.
to plug.
Yeah, I'm in tomorrow.
Nick's stream tonight,
stream.
7:30. Myself, KFC, Clem, Hubs.
Nice.
We're fighting for the Knicks. Keep the series alive. Keep the season alive. Hopefully, maybe they win. Go get a video in the mosh pit at the Garden after. So tonight, 7:30 stream. Go New York, go. Let's go for Tommy Cheeseballs. Do it for Cheeseballs.
I want
Get it done.
I hope the Knicks.
You know Cheeseballs
You know
wants
he was
the
a
Knicks to
Knicks
win.
fan.
Honestly, Cheeseballs is so Jersey, he might be like a dead-ass Nets fan.
I think he was a Cowboys fan with the.
He is.
He is, right?
Of course.
That's
How can he not be?
Definitely a Yankees fan.
How could he not be? I want to thank our crews. I appreciate all you guys, TJ and our guys holding fort down in there. Stay tuned. The Yak is up next.